Camera lenses inside Arrowhead Stadium captured a moment that quickly reshaped global headlines. Seated in a VIP suite, Taylor Swift was seen applauding, smiling, and fully immersed in an NFL game featuring Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce. What initially appeared to be a casual celebrity sighting soon evolved into a major cultural moment, symbolizing the growing intersection between pop culture and professional sports. Taylor Swift's presence at Chiefs games immediately sparked a surge of public attention. Search engine trends recorded sharp increases for keywords such as Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs, and NFL, not only in the United States but across international markets. Major media outlets, spanning entertainment, sports, and business sections, elevated the story to headline status, underscoring its cross-industry impact. Swift is widely recognized as one of the most influential musicians of her generation, with record-breaking album sales, streaming numbers, and global stadium tours. Travis Kelce, meanwhile, stands as one of the NFL's elite athletes, a Super Bowl champion, and a central figure in the Chiefs' recent dominance. The connection between these two global figures transformed public interest from a personal relationship into a broader cultural phenomenon. Following Swift's appearances at NFL games, the league experienced a noticeable increase in viewership, particularly among younger female demographics historically underrepresented in football audiences. Merchandise sales tied to Travis Kelce, especially his number 87 jersey, reportedly rose significantly. On social media platforms, clips of Swift reacting during games garnered millions of views, becoming viral content that extended far beyond traditional sports coverage. This phenomenon highlights a shift in modern media consumption. Audiences no longer draw strict lines between sports news and entertainment reporting. Swift's reactions in the stands became part of game narratives, while Kelce's on-field performances were increasingly discussed alongside his off-field visibility. Digital algorithms accelerated the spread of these moments, turning brief reactions into high-value media assets within minutes. Despite the intense spotlight, both Swift and Kelce maintained a notably restrained public approach. There were no dramatic announcements or overt attempts to capitalize on the attention. This restraint appeared to strengthen public fascination rather than diminish it. Media coverage continued organically, fueled by sustained curiosity and the absence of manufactured controversy. Cultural analysts view the relationship as emblematic of a new era of crossover influence. Music and sports, long regarded as parallel pillars of global entertainment, are now merging more visibly through figures capable of commanding massive, loyal fan bases. The impact is measurable not only in ratings and merchandise sales, but also in how fans form identity, loyalty, and community across traditional boundaries. What began as a celebrity sighting quickly evolved into a symbol of the times. The relationship between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce demonstrates how a personal connection can generate wide-reaching cultural resonance without scandal or spectacle. Instead, its power lies in authenticity, timing, and the seamless blending of two dominant cultural forces. For the media industry, this moment serves as a clear example of how the most compelling stories often emerge at the intersection of major worlds. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are no longer seen solely as icons of music and sports, but as representatives of a unified global stage where pop culture and athletics converge, creating narratives that captivate audiences worldwide. The ripple effects of this convergence continue to expand far beyond stadium walls and concert venues. Advertising analysts note that brands associated with both the NFL and Swift's tour ecosystem have benefited indirectly, as heightened media attention drives engagement without traditional promotional campaigns. Television broadcasts linger longer on crowd shots, social platforms amplify behind-the-scenes angles, and news cycles repeatedly circle back to the same question. How did a single relationship generate this level of sustained global attention? Industry observers argue that the answer lies in narrative timing. Taylor Swift is currently at the peak of her cultural influence, redefining touring economics and artist autonomy, while Travis Kelce represents the modern NFL star, media-savvy, charismatic, and successful on the sport's biggest stages. Their connection arrives at a moment when audiences crave stories that feel unscripted yet meaningful, personal yet emblematic of something larger. Within sports media, the conversation has shifted noticeably. Analysts who once focused strictly on formations and statistics now acknowledge the role of celebrity visibility in shaping league relevance. NFL broadcasts have seen spikes in social engagement during games Swift attends, with hashtags related to her presence trending alongside live game updates. This dual-layer conversation, game analysis intertwined with pop culture commentary, has redefined what a must-watch sports event looks like in the digital era. Meanwhile, the music industry views the phenomenon as further confirmation of Swift's unmatched cultural leverage. Her ability to influence viewership, consumer behavior, and media narratives without releasing new music underscores a rare level of brand power. Experts note that Swift's presence does not distract from the sport itself, but rather broadens its cultural entry point, inviting new audiences without alienating traditional fans. The public response has also revealed shifting attitudes towards celebrity relationships. Unlike past high-profile romances marked by oversaturation and controversy, this one has unfolded with relative restraint. Appearances are selective, statements are minimal, and the narrative develops largely through observation rather than orchestration. This approach has fostered sustained curiosity rather than fatigue, allowing the story to evolve naturally in the public eye. From a sociocultural perspective, the relationship reflects changing definitions of influence. Power is no longer confined to a single industry. Instead, it flows across platforms, audiences, and identities. Swift and Kelce together illustrate how modern icons operate within overlapping spheres, where music fans become sports viewers and sports loyalists engage with pop culture narratives they might previously have ignored. Economists and media strategists are paying close attention. The surge in engagement surrounding Chiefs games featuring Swift is now being studied as a case example of organic audience expansion. Unlike paid endorsements or scripted cross-promotions, this phenomenon emerged spontaneously, driven by genuine public interest. Its success raises broader questions about the future of marketing, storytelling, and audience cultivation in a fragmented media landscape. As the season progresses, every public appearance, whether at a stadium, a concert, or a casual outing, continues to attract disproportionate attention. Yet the story's endurance suggests it is no longer about novelty. It has become a shared cultural reference point, a recurring headline that evolves alongside the careers of both individuals. Ultimately, the relationship between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stands as a reflection of how modern fame operates at scale. It demonstrates that when two dominant cultural forces intersect, the result is not merely amplified attention, but a redefinition of how stories travel, how audiences engage, and how industries adapt. In an era saturated with content, their connection has managed to do what few narratives achieve: cut through the noise and hold the world's attention. One game, one appearance, and one moment at a time. The sustained attention surrounding this story has also prompted discussions about the long-term implications for both industries involved. Media executives point out that the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce narrative has effectively extended the lifespan of NFL coverage beyond game day. Post-game analysis now includes cultural commentary, fashion breakdowns, and audience reaction metrics, expanding the scope of sports journalism itself. This evolution reflects a broader trend in which entertainment value and athletic performance are no longer treated as separate lanes, but as interconnected elements of a single media ecosystem. From a broadcast perspective, networks have subtly adjusted their storytelling approach. Camera angles linger on VIP sections, commentary teams reference cultural moments in real time, and digital platforms publish parallel streams of content aimed at different audience segments. One story feeds multiple narratives: the competitive outcome of the game, the human interest angle, and the broader cultural symbolism. This layered coverage has proven highly effective in retaining viewer attention across longer time spans. At the same time, public discourse has remained largely positive, an increasingly rare outcome for high-profile celebrity relationships. Analysts attribute this to the absence of controversy-driven framing. Instead of scandal, the narrative has centered on mutual support, professional respect, and shared moments in public spaces. This tone aligns with a growing audience preference for stories that feel grounded rather than sensationalized, particularly in an era of constant digital overload. The economic ripple effects continue to surface. Local businesses near stadiums report increased foot traffic during games with heightened media attention. Online resale markets reflect spikes in Chiefs-related merchandise searches, while streaming platforms see renewed interest in Swift's catalog during NFL broadcast windows. Though indirect, these indicators highlight how cultural moments can generate measurable financial activity without traditional promotional structures. Academic observers have also entered the conversation, framing the phenomenon as a case study in modern fandom convergence. Historically, music fandoms and sports fandoms operated within distinct social identities. The Swift-Kelce storyline has blurred those boundaries, creating overlapping communities that engage through shared moments rather than shared origins. This convergence suggests a shift in how audiences define belonging in digital spaces. Importantly, the narrative has not overshadowed professional performance. Travis Kelce's on-field contributions remain central to Chiefs coverage, while Swift's artistic output continues to dominate music industry discourse. Rather than diminishing either figure's credibility, the relationship appears to coexist alongside their achievements, reinforcing the idea that personal visibility and professional excellence are no longer mutually exclusive in public life. As the media cycle continues, the story adapts to new contexts. During playoff runs, attention intensifies. During tour dates, the focus shifts but does not fade. Each phase adds another layer, ensuring the narrative remains dynamic rather than repetitive. This adaptability is a key reason the story has maintained relevance over time, avoiding the rapid burnout typical of viral moments. Internationally, the impact has been equally notable. NFL coverage has gained additional traction in markets where Swift's global popularity already runs deep. In regions traditionally less engaged with American football, the story has served as an entry point, sparking curiosity and casual viewership. This cross-border influence underscores the power of globally recognized figures to reshape audience behavior beyond domestic markets. Looking ahead, industry insiders caution against attempting to replicate the phenomenon through artificial means. The success of this narrative lies precisely in its organic development. It was not launched, branded, or scheduled. It emerged naturally and was amplified by genuine public interest. Attempts to manufacture similar cross-industry moments may struggle to achieve the same resonance without authenticity. ASA News Story. The relationship between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce has transcended its initial framing. It is no longer simply about who attends which game or event. It has become a lens through which broader shifts in media, culture, and audience behavior can be observed. Each update adds context rather than closure, reinforcing the sense that this is an evolving chapter rather than a finished headline. In a crowded information landscape, where stories rise and fall at unprecedented speed, this one has demonstrated unusual staying power. Its strength lies not in spectacle, but in symbolism. It represents a moment when two cultural giants intersected naturally, drawing the attention of millions and subtly reshaping how entertainment and sports coexist in the public imagination. As coverage continues, one conclusion grows increasingly clear. The significance of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce together extends far beyond personal interest. Their visibility marks a turning point in how narratives are formed, consumed, and sustained in the modern media era. What began as a simple appearance in a stadium has evolved into a defining example of cultural convergence, one that continues to unfold in real time, watched closely by audiences, industries, and observers around the world. As the narrative continues to unfold, attention has increasingly shifted toward how this cultural convergence may influence future collaborations between major entertainment industries. Executives within both music and sports media circles acknowledge that the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce phenomenon has opened new conversations about audience crossover potential. While no formal partnerships have been announced, the success of this organic intersection has become a reference point in strategic discussions about long-term brand positioning and fan engagement. Within the NFL, league officials have emphasized that the core product remains competition and athletic excellence. However, there is a growing recognition that cultural relevance plays a critical role in sustaining audience growth. Games that attract broader social media discourse tend to dominate weekly conversation, and the presence of globally recognized figures amplifies that effect. Swift's appearances have demonstrated how cultural visibility can coexist with sport without compromising its integrity. At the same time, Music industry leaders view the situation as a reminder of the expanding definition of artist influence. Swift's ability to generate attention outside traditional music channels reinforces her position not just as a performer, but as a cultural force. Analysts note that this level of influence is rare and typically reserved for figures who transcend their original medium. Her presence in sports spaces has not diluted her brand, but rather extended it into new cultural territory. Public fascination has also been fueled by the contrast between the two worlds now intersecting. Stadiums known for physical intensity and competition are suddenly associated with moments of celebration, reaction shots, and pop culture symbolism. This contrast creates a compelling visual and narrative dynamic that resonates strongly in digital media environments, where emotionally charged content travels fastest. Importantly, the story has remained resilient against the usual cycle of overexposure. Media coverage has evolved rather than repeated itself. Early headlines focused on surprise and novelty. Subsequent reporting examined measurable impact, ratings, merchandise, and online engagement. More recent coverage has taken a reflective tone, analyzing what the phenomenon reveals about cultural power structures in the modern age. This progression has allowed the narrative to mature alongside public interest. Sociologists studying media behavior suggest that the appeal lies partly in accessibility. The story does not require specialized knowledge of football strategy or music industry mechanics. It is easily understood, emotionally neutral, and broadly relatable. Viewers can engage at any level, whether through casual curiosity or deeper cultural analysis. This accessibility has helped sustain momentum across diverse audience segments. There is also a generational component at play. Younger audiences, raised in an era of algorithm-driven content and fluid identity, are more accustomed to blending interests across traditional categories. For them, the convergence of pop music and professional sports feels natural rather than disruptive. The Swift-Kelce storyline aligns with this mindset, reinforcing the idea that culture is increasingly hybrid rather than siloed as attention persists. Both figures continue to navigate visibility carefully. Appearances remain selective, and public messaging stays minimal. This measured approach has preserved a sense of authenticity, allowing the story to remain compelling without escalating into spectacle. Media analysts note that restraint has become a strategic advantage in an environment where constant exposure often leads to rapid audience fatigue. The international dimension of the coverage continues to expand. Global outlets frame the story not only as celebrity news but as an example of American cultural export. NFL games featuring heightened attention now receive increased coverage in regions traditionally dominated by other sports. Swift's global fan base serves as a bridge, drawing international viewers into a league they might otherwise overlook. From a historical perspective, commentators have begun comparing this moment to past intersections of sports and entertainment, though few examples match its scale or digital impact. Unlike previous eras, today's media infrastructure allows real-time amplification, global distribution, and immediate audience feedback. This infrastructure has turned a personal relationship into a continuous global narrative, shaped as much by audience response as by the individuals involved. Looking forward, questions remain about how long the heightened attention will last. Yet even skeptics acknowledge that its influence is already secured. The phenomenon has reshaped expectations about what drives engagement, how narratives form, and where cultural authority resides. Whether or not the story continues at its current intensity, its impact on media strategy and audience behavior will be studied long after headlines move on. In the broader context of modern storytelling, the relationship between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce has become more than a recurring headline. It serves as a living example of how cultural relevance is built in the digital age, through authenticity, timing, and the seamless overlap of once separate worlds. Each appearance, each reaction shot, and each media cycle adds another layer to a story that continues to evolve without a defined endpoint. As audiences watch closely, one reality remains clear. This is not merely a story about two famous individuals. It is a reflection of how culture itself now operates. Fluid, interconnected, and driven by moments that resonate across industries. What began with a single camera cut in a stadium has grown into a sustained cultural conversation, one that continues to shape how the world consumes sports, music, and the stories that connect them. The ongoing coverage has also prompted deeper examination of how modern celebrity narratives are constructed and sustained. Media researchers note that unlike traditional publicity cycles, which rely heavily on scheduled releases or competitive seasons, this story exists in a continuous state of relevance. It resurfaces organically through appearances, broadcasts, and social interaction, creating a loop where public interest fuels media coverage, and media coverage reinforces public interest. One notable aspect is how the relationship has influenced broadcast storytelling techniques. Sports networks, aware of the expanded audience, have subtly adjusted commentary language to be more inclusive, offering context for casual viewers without alienating longtime fans. Entertainment outlets, meanwhile, have adopted a more analytical tone, framing developments not as gossip but as indicators of broader cultural trends. This dual adaptation reflects a media environment increasingly shaped by crossover audiences. The digital footprint of the phenomenon continues to grow. Short-form video platforms play a significant role, where brief clips, sometimes lasting only seconds, generate millions of interactions. These snippets, often showing reactions rather than actions, underscore a shift in what audiences value. Emotion, relatability, and immediacy now rival achievement and performance as drivers of engagement. In this context, the Swift-Kelce story thrives because it offers moments that feel both spontaneous and meaningful. Advertising strategists point out that the absence of overt commercialization has paradoxically increased commercial value. Brands benefit indirectly from association without the risks of formal endorsement. This halo effect has reignited discussions about authenticity-driven marketing, where cultural relevance emerges naturally rather than through scripted campaigns. The story has become a benchmark for how influence can be generated without explicit promotion. Within fan communities, the convergence has sparked new forms of interaction. Online forums once dedicated solely to football strategy now host discussions about music tours and lyrics, while music-focused spaces analyze game highlights and athlete interviews. These exchanges illustrate how shared narratives can dissolve traditional boundaries between interest groups, fostering hybrid communities built around curiosity rather than specialization. Psychologists studying audience behavior suggest that the appeal also lies in narrative balance. The story offers visibility without excess, familiarity without predictability. It unfolds slowly, allowing audiences to fill gaps with interpretation and anticipation. This pacing contrasts sharply with viral cycles that peak and fade within days, reinforcing the idea that sustained engagement requires narrative space rather than constant revelation. The professional stakes for both figures remain significant. Travis Kelce continues to perform under the scrutiny that accompanies elite athletic competition, while Swift navigates an industry where visibility can be both asset and liability. Their ability to maintain professional focus amid heightened attention has reinforced public perception of competence and discipline, qualities that further enhance credibility across audiences. International media has increasingly framed the story as a reflection of American cultural dynamics. The blending of sports spectacle and pop iconography is presented as emblematic of a broader entertainment model, one that prioritizes narrative continuity and audience immersion. In this framing,